Yo YouTube, what's going on? AJ here, back at it again with another video. And in today's video, I'm just wow, like wow guys, this was amazing guys. Like Wuthering Waves 1.3 patch 1.3 is probably one of the greatest gacha patches I've played in a very long time. And it's low-key for me, this is like a big moment for Kuro games. It's like kind of like a historic moment, because it's kind of like, if you were always still skeptical about Wuthering Waves, if you've never played Wuthering Waves, if you've had a friend or somebody else, a coworker or whoever you talk to that plays gacha games or has been interested in WUWA and doesn't play it, and they're like, oh, I played too many gacha games before for XYZ, after this patch and what I just played right now, please tell them to play Wuthering Waves, because this is by far one of the greatest patches in history. Normally I'll do my intro, so we'll do it real quick. I'm trying to be the top Wuthering Waves creator, get to 5k. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for the support on the channel. Without further ado, let's get into the video. And I really just want to give you guys my real thoughts real quick, because this is one of the best gacha stories in my opinion, and we can start from just everything in the beginning. When we got to the Black Shores, right guys, obviously you meet Yuhu and stuff like that, but visually the new map and everything like that was stunning, man. Like, I talked about how one of Kuro's complaints was how the game is always so dark and stuff like that, and it doesn't have like these amazing visuals, and there's only a few areas in the map or something like that that look breathtaking. When patch 1.1 came along for Wuthering Waves, I remember it was something big because Mount Firmament was very nice. It was very calming and refreshing. And one of the complaints also was about music in the game. While Mount Firmament had very nice and peaceful music, and a lot of us did enjoy it, right? A lot of us wanted a little bit different sort of, like, you know what I mean, music that would fit in. I would say some of the combat music in here, I don't know if it was changed, or I don't know, maybe if it was just the same music but it felt better. But the music in Black Shores area was really done well. The new area visually, almost everything about the maps and the areas, the shores, the stars or whatever that are coming down from the sky, the little like I don't know what it's called guys, but you know how like the stars are kind of like connected in the lines you can see all around, looked amazing. The way everything lights up, the different times of day when you're on the beach, it was a visual masterpiece, including the cutscenes. And I'm not going to spoil the story for anybody who hasn't played it, because I definitely recommend it, and I'm going to go over the story in 1 second. But just from that little critical standpoint that people were criticizing, visually this whole area and everything about it was so beautiful. Now we can get into the cutscenes and we could talk about that, how crazy they went all in with the animations and stuff like that for multiple cutscenes. It wasn't just like, oh, get to yap and then, you know, one cutscene. There was so many cutscenes, and even when the characters were talking with one another, right, it felt as though the dialogue was important. It felt as though you are invested in the story. These are important details now we're getting revealed, and it really didn't feel like any wasted notes, you know what I mean? And this was a very huge, significant lore drop for us as players to finally consume and understand what's actually happening with the Wuthering Waves story. It's given us a little bit more of those questions that we had are now being answered and filled out. Now let's talk about the character Shorekeeper. Like I said, I won't go into spoilers, but if you're someone who didn't want to pull for Shorekeeper because of meta, or you were holding out for Camilla or a future character or something like that, I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's almost going to be impossible for you guys not to want to pull for Shorekeeper after you play this story. They did a phenomenal job with the character, and that's another thing. People have complained about WUWA's voice acting. They've even addressed it themselves. I'm not sure who the voice actress is for Shorekeeper. Big props, big credit to her. She sounded very well in here. You could tell the emotional aspect of it, but her voice was very calm and stuff like that. But the certain lines, that way she delivered them in the story was really good. Just a certain dialogue in the story between her interactions with Rover were really nice, and I felt like her being highlighted in the story. They did a phenomenal job writing wise, voice acting wise, visual wise, every little note that you could possibly hit to create a masterful, beautiful scene, to get immersed in a story, in a world, you know what I mean, in this fantasy world, was really done well. And props to Kuro Games, props to everybody, top down. Gameplay wise too, we can go over the new Echo Boss, and honestly, while the story versions of Echo Bosses will always be easier, right? Just even fighting the thing when you go to farm for Shorekeeper's materials is a really fun fight, and he does some of the craziest little mechanics and little switch ups and everything like that. And guys, let's just be real, you all know it's gonna happen. He's eventually won. We don't know when, you know what I mean? We don't know when Kuro's gonna do it, but you know, it's always a pattern. Now they have Inferno Rider, so eventually this guy probably will be a hologram boss, and he'll probably get even more moves. But when you guys get to that point, man, this dude is so cool. The stance switching, lasers, and I just can't wait for you guys to play that fight if you haven't gotten there. Very, very fun. Some of the things in the story too were really, really crazy that I don't want to talk about, but like some of the little like gameplay like moments with the transitions in certain areas. It's a frosty area. I'm not gonna say anything else, but if y'all know, y'all know what I'm talking about with that certain moment in that story. That's also, and we can get to our next point, is the fact of they added so many like events this patch. They gave us quality of life updates, they gave us a bunch of materials, they're giving us so many asteroids this patch that even, let's say you get Camilla or Shorekeeper, I'm sorry, not Camilla, Shorekeeper, guys, and you still want Camilla, I'm pretty sure, guys, you'll have enough to get like 80 something pulls and a shot at Camilla with the amount of pulls they're giving you this patch, you know what I mean? And if you pulled Shorekeeper early before pity or anything like that, and you're doing your dailies, this is the one time I recommend, guys. Hey, maybe if you don't want to be a light spender, you don't want to go crazy, go ahead and buy you a monthly pass, because you practically can guarantee Camilla at this point with the amount Kuro Games is rewarding you. These devs really care about the game. These devs have been working hard, and I feel like all the criticisms, like you said, it could have been the world felt dull for you, it could have been the voice acting wasn't as good, it could have been the characters visually you didn't like them as much, maybe even though animations are amazing in this game, and I don't see anybody really complaining about that, but let's say if you were, it's so hard to find a complaint with patch 1.3 for Wuthering Waves. I think this is a masterpiece. If I was to give this a score out of 10, and this is all fresh off my mind, guys, and I'm letting it sit, I would give this a 9.5 out of 10. I want to see what the events, the one event that's going to push this to a 10 for me, because they have everything there, that co-op event. If the hologram boss fights are really good and they feel good and it's fun to play with your buddies, this is a 10 out of 10 patch, and probably one of the rare few times. I rarely will ever give something a perfect score, but if that delivers well, that means they've done co-op well, they've done rewarding us well, they've gave us an amazing story, amazing scenery and visuals non-stop, great characters, meta characters. Everything was phenomenal about this patch. It would be a 10 out of 10. But that's just how I'm feeling, guys. Let me know your comments down below, guys. Let me know if you guys have played the story. Feel free to share, what did you guys think about 1.3? What did you guys think about the story, man? Because honestly, I was already interested in it before, and this story really made me fall in love with the character of Shorekeeper, and hats off to Kuro Games, man. It's been your boy AJ. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you guys agree with my thoughts. I'm out, and I'll talk to y'all next time. Peace.